the horse whose rider is faithful and true. Hi guys, Deirdre here, All Things Art and Books. How are you doing? It is the third and final part of the horse painting that I've been doing this last couple of weeks. If you've seen any of the other parts, this is for a gift from my friend Lona, so I can now finally get it off to her. And here is the finished artwork. Art is really strange. No matter how much of an idea you have in your head about what it's going to look like, what you're trying to achieve, it's still a journey. You still put paint on the paper or the canvas or whatever, or charcoal or whatever medium it is you're using, and it's still just a process. You never know how it's going to come out, or how well it's going to come out, or what's going to happen, and that is what is amazing about it. And it's actually something that I struggled with for a long time, not knowing. Things were never coming out the way I had them in my head. But now I'm learning to embrace that, and I think if anyone else is struggling with that, that they should embrace that too. And sometimes the final result is better than what you have in your head, and no matter what it is, it's still only a bit of paper at the end of the day. So not to worry about it, just to let your creativity just go with it. So that is what I'm really enjoying about art now, and this is what happened with this painting. I did have an idea of this painting, what I wanted to do. And the title of the paint is The Horse Whose Rider is Faithful and True. And that comes from the book of Revelation. It's Revelation 19 verse 11. So if anyone wants to look it up, go ahead. But that's where the inspiration for this painting came from. All the details about it down below. Following this, there's a time-lapse. I just wanted to also say a little bit about the materials I used. I did mainly use watercolor. Just ordinary watercolor tubes of paint. I'll list again the materials I used down below. I also used some gold watercolor paint, which I really enjoyed using. It's really shimmery. In the background of the painting, I used some gold watercolor ink. I'm very fond of this watercolor ink. It's very vibrant, and it works really well with watercolor paint too. So I got the watercolor inks. But in addition to that, I also used some Caran D'ache watercolor pencils, and I find that very useful for working in around the eye and a little bit of the muzzle. You put these pencils on dry paper. They're very soft, so you'll not get a very fine point or anything, but it was good for just working in detail. And then what I was able to do was use a very fine brush and just put some water over it, and then that activated the watercolor paint that I had already laid down with the pencils. If you're into watercolor, I would recommend you give them a try, because it's good to mix and match a wee bit. So following this is the time-lapse of The Horse Whose Rider is Faithful and True. Hope you enjoy the time-lapse, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the time-lapse, guys, of the horse whose rider is faithful and true, and I'll see you next week for, who knows, haven't decided yet what I'm doing, but see you next week. All the best, guys. Bye.